Can we start? Yeah. Welcome to Singapore Online English Online Toastmaster. I'm Ahmad Nur Hashim, SGI Online Acting Surgeon at Armed Forces Club. I would like to begin by stating the mission of the Toastmaster Club. We provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. Ladies and gentlemen, Toastmaster, fellow Toastmaster, and guys, this meeting will be recorded. Should you not wish to be included, please turn off your webcam. The camera control should be on the bottom left corner of your screen. Although we encourage you to show your beautiful smiles because we love to see your reaction, we respect your choice. Before we start all the meeting, the first step is opening speech from our president, Willie. This time to you, Mr. Willie.
Thank you, Sergio and Arms. Fellow Toastmaster, as a leader, you are called to invest, influence, and lead others. But for this to be a success, leadership begins long before you reach the office. It begins at home. That is why it's essential that leadership begin at home. You can't lead others if you cannot lead your family, if you are married with kids. I know this sounds harsh. In fact, I'd be quite blunt here. But this where I was newlywed with no kids, an older, wiser man told me this simple truth. Lead your family first. Is you really resonate with me until I have children? It was right, though, as I stated earlier, when I engage at home and leading my family, my leadership among others is healthy. Leading your children changes the future. Do you realize that as a parent, you shape the futures? That is one of the family gifts you have been given as a parent. Your investment is your children directly impact the future. Do you realize that as a parent, you shape the future? Your kids, your children are watching you. I do not want to feed you up and make you paranoid, but your children's eyes always watch you. They take life cues for you and learn how to become a man or a woman just like you. This moved me to keep my leadership at home in check. Equality and character are tested at home. Your wife or husband and your children know your ideologies, weaknesses, and failure. They love you in spite of the thing. That is why maintaining your equality, even and the testing ground on the home front is so important. If your children bear witness to weak equality and fickle character at home, do you really expect to have solid equality and strong character in the office? Your children become the kind of leader they As much as we hate to admit it, our children will grow up to have some of the same characteristics they see in their parents. I want my children to someday become individual and leaders with strong integrity and rock-solid character. If they lay witness to me publicly leading others but fairly at home, this will greatly impact their future leadership. My intention is not to discourage. It's a trial I have made. I have made so many mistakes in my family, more times than I have like to admit. What the amazing gift I have been given is grace. Believe it or not, if you're really this and shaking your head in conviction, you are not a hopeless cure. I bet that your husband or your wife or children are grace-giving human beings. They love you. They will allow you to start all over to become the kind of leader they need and that you need to be. It began by humbly asking for their forgiveness. Then make good on your promise and become a great leader by first leading the people who are life with you. The future depends on you. Those who you lead day in and day out also depend on you. When your leadership begins at home, your leadership outside of home will blossom. Over to Toastmaster of the Day, Alicia Chia.
Thank you, President. And a fabulous Friday morning, afternoon, and evening to everyone out there. Welcome to SGI English Online Toastmaster Club, where we meet every Friday, and we are a 100% online club. Before we start the meeting, I'd like to introduce the rest of the appointment holders. Firstly, we already introduced our acting Sergeant at Arms, Toastmaster Ahmad. He will be behind the scenes, making sure our meeting is in order and helping to mute and unmute people who are not supposed to speak. And always the helpful person behind the scenes as well, if should you need any help. Then we also have our timer, which is Toastmaster Abdul Karimi. Abdul, can you introduce yourself, please?
Yes, good afternoon, good morning, good evening to everyone. Yes, my name is Abdul. Today I'm going to be doing the timers of each individual. So the timer is going to be from different timings. Just want to let you know at the end or beginning, if we're going to take our breaks, please respect our time. Just be back on time. I'll give you a heads up. I'll let you know with the colors, as you can see in the screen, green, yellow, and red. Thank you. Back to you, Alicia.
Thank you, Mr. Timer, Toastmaster Abdul Karimi. Next up, we also have our dynamic table topic master, Toastmaster Lee Buckley. Can you introduce yourself, please?
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster of the Day. Good evening, or good morning, good day, everyone, fellow Toastmasters and guests. My role tonight is the Table Topics Master. Table Topics is a long-standing Toastmasters tradition to help members improve their impromptu speaking skills. Tonight, I will be running the segment and will be asking you some questions to help you think on your feet. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you. Thank you, Table Topic Master. Now, finally, myself, I'm Alicia Chia, and I'll be your Toastmaster of the Day for this program. And we do have a very exciting program for everyone here. We will start shortly the table topic segment, which is the Better Thinking segment, where we test your thinking skills. Then after that, we will have our speeches, followed by our listening segment, which is the evaluation segment. Now for today, the theme of today's program is Leadership Starts at Home. Well, what a dynamic and inspiring speech from our president earlier on. Indeed, I agree with him that leadership starts at home. In fact, it's not only for married people, but it's also for singles out there as well. Those who have parents, brothers, sisters, even dogs and cats, they all look up to your leadership at home. So it's very important that although you work hard at your work, offices, businesses out there, do remember not to neglect your family. That's where you will see an even larger impact in the future. Now, without much ado, let us move on to our interesting listening segment, the table topic segment. Over to you, table topic master Lee Buckley.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster of the Day. Welcome to Table Topics, ladies and gentlemen. Are you ready? Give me the thumbs up if you are ready. Remember, in Toastmasters, if you don't volunteer, you're voluntold. I will just remind you, this segment is to help members and guests to practice their impromptu speaking skills. So it's thinking on your feet. The timing of the topics tonight will be 1 to 2 minutes. The green light will come on at 1 minute. The yellow light will be 1.5 minutes, and the red light at 2 minutes. And at 2.5 minutes, you'll be politely buzzed off. All the speakers, may I please remind you to pin the timer? I have some interesting topics tonight. What I'm going to do tonight is slightly different. Instead of showing you PowerPoint, I will show you my virtual background. So please look at my virtual background. Are you ready? If you'd like to volunteer, please type TT in the chat box. If not, I will volunteer you. Excellent. The first topic we have tonight is thought about quitting. Then I noticed who was watching. Thought about quitting. Then noticed who was watching. Please welcome Toastmaster Sim Simun.
Oh, did I volunteer myself?
You have been voluntold.
Oh, okay. Very good morning, good afternoon, good evening, President Toastmaster of the Day, and Table Topics Master and fellow Toastmasters. This is an interesting statement. Thought about quitting, then I noticed who was watching. Yes, very often I thought about quitting. I thought about giving up. I thought about not continuing anymore. But then I noticed my children were watching. I noticed my children, they are watching me all the time. So just like our president has said today, leadership begins at home. Everything begins at home, not only from leadership, but also to all kinds of behavior, all kinds of role modeling, and even what the Bible says, charity begins at home. So whenever we think about quitting, we should always think about how our quitting is always picked up, either unconsciously, subconsciously, by our generation, by our descendants. So we have got to be very careful. We need to watch out. We need to be careful about what we say. We need to be careful about how we walk our talk, because whatever we do, whatever we say are all picked up by our children. And we want our children to be leaders of tomorrow. Therefore, we ourselves must role model. We have got to be persevering, and we have got to role model the values that we want them to pick up in life, whether it should be perseverance, respect, integrity, love, and all kinds of values. Let us all do our very best to play them out in our life and never to give up so that our children will become leaders of tomorrow. So I really endorse that statement. Whenever we want to quit, let's think of who are watching us. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Simsimun. What a great reminder that we never know who is watching or listening. Every time we thought of quitting, just remember, okay, we have our future generation watching us, observing us, and learning from us. Thank you, Toastmaster Simsimun.
Thank
The
you.
next table topics is to be a great leader, you need to start by leading yourself. To be a great leader, you need to start by leading yourself. Please welcome Toastmaster Ahmad Nur Hashim.
Okay, I'll open mine. Thank you, Miss Blackley. Leader is magic word because many of course provide short course or long course about how to be a great leader in community, in school, in our life. The question is, how can we start to be leader? I think the first step is we can look at our mind and our motivation. Why I should be leader? Because the element of important and leader is serve and empower people. If we have motivation to empower, to serve community, you can be leader in your community. We can start with simple thing. We can give solution for problem in our community, and we can pursue with other people to go to solve together. Because I believe the good question, if you want to faster, you can go alone. But if you want to go longer and so far, you have to go together with your community and your friend. A leader, of course, is key element to improve our community, our university to be better in the future. Thank you, Miss Buckley.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ahmad Nur Hashim. Thank you for reminding us of the motivation to serve the community and that it begins at home with us. The next table topics question is a simple one. It's in line with the theme of tonight's meeting. Leadership begins at home. Leadership begins at home. Please welcome Toastmaster Noriko Tanami.
Thank you, Lee. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Leadership begins at home. For children, leader should be their parents, mother or father. In my country, father is a leader at home. But interestingly, the behind normal family have the behind boss. The father is a leader at home, exactly. But the mother is also a leader. And children looked at both parents, mothers, and fathers. And what we were watching what mother say, we were watching what father say. I think this for children, it is their first thing of what the leadership is. I think the leadership for people, I mean children, starts from home and from father and mother. So we should be, I mean, for adult, as an adult, we should be a leader at home anytime because children are watching us. Thank you very much. Back to Toastmaster, Topic Master.
Thank you, Toastmaster Noriko Tanami. Thank you for reminding us, that we should be observing and listening to our parents. The next topic is, I'm not afraid of lions who are led by a sheep. I am afraid of sheep that are led by a lion. I'll give you a few moments to think about that. I am not afraid of lions who are led by a sheep. I am afraid of a sheep or sheep that are led by a lion. To answer that topic, please welcome Toastmaster Angela Lansbury.
I've heard this quotation before. I'm trying to remember if it was Napoleon or Wellington. Can you tell me? If not, I shall look it up later. The whole point of this is that it's the leader who is important, and people will follow them, and the sheep will run forward fiercely if led by a lion, a forceful person. But if there's a weak leader, the lions will sit around doing nothing. I'm not entirely convinced this is true, but it was said by somebody who was a leader of people and who literally won battles. And so I think they probably knew more than any of us, than anybody else in the world, about leadership. Oh, Alexander the Great. Yes. Thank you. And he was a person who conquered country after country, right across the globe. He went from Greece eastwards and through Egypt and other places. And his name is still there in Alexandria. And he was a very young man. And I think you will find that this applies to your life, that we were talking earlier about parents leading children. If your children will tend to follow you as a parent. But the question is, are you leading people where you want them to go? And very often the person who shouts loudest gets their way, and the lion roars and the people follow. And we've seen this can have good effects or bad effects. So be the lion. Thank you. Back to you, Lee Buckley.
Thank you, Toastmaster Angela Lansbury. Thank you for reminding us to be the lion. And yes, it was a quote by Alexander the Great. Next up, family is not an important thing. It's everything, according to Michael J. Fox. According to Michael J. Fox, family is not an important thing. It's everything. Please welcome Abdul Karimi, Toastmaster Abdul Karimi, to answer this topic.
Yes. Hello, everybody. Okay, that's a very good one. Family is definitely #1 priority. Without family, how are you going to move up? How are you going to make a bigger family? Families are the ones that can really lead you to a better life, to become a better father, to become a better brother or sister or mother or father. In many countries, they always say you you have to go to work, put your work first. But I disagree, because if you put your work first and not your family, eventually after so many years, you might fall as a father, as a husband, and you might lose your family at the same time. So number one priority is your family, then other things are next. With families, you're a success. Without families, you fall hard. Before you know it, your life is over. Back to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Abdul Karimi. Yes, without family, your life is over. Particularly in the current situation, it's very important to have our support network around us. Thank
Yes,
you
that's
for
right.
answering the table topic, Toastmaster Abdul Karimi. Next, let's
Thank you.
have a fun one. Would any of the guests tonight would like to attempt the table topic? Any guests tonight would like to attempt the table topic?
Highly, I'm a guest and I would like to attempt it.
Excellent. Thank you, Sonal, for attempting. I'll give you an easy one.
Sure.
Bank of mom and dad. Okay, bank of mom and dad. Please welcome our guest, Sonal.
Thank you, Levi, for the warm welcome and giving me the opportunity to speak. Until I started earning, I always thought that my dad is an ATM machine. I always thought whenever I need anything, I can easily go and reach out to him and get everything that I wanted. Our parents are as such that they ensure that they give us whatever we ask them for, and they try to fulfill our all desire when we are kid and even when we are grown up. So I don't know how do they manage it, but definitely our parents are one who gives us whatever we need, and they are seen as in bank when we are childhood for all our needs. Even if we are grown up, when I have started earning, I see that how I can repay them as much as possible, not only in terms of money, but also in terms of taking care and in good health, so that I can serve them the best that they have done it for me. Thank you. Over to you, Dee.
Thank you, Sonal. I was in the same boat until I started working. I was relying on my bank of mom and dad as well. Thank you. Next, everything I experience influences everything I do. Everything I experience influences everything I do. Please welcome, would our guest Nasri like to try this topic? Nasri, are you there? No, I don't think Nasri seems to be there. So I will ask our TMD instead. Our TMD, Toastmaster Alicia Cha, if you like to attempt this topic, please.
All right, Ken. I will attempt this topic. Thank you. What's the topic again?
Everything I experience influences everything I do.
All right, I've got a topic. Everything I experience influences everything I do. A very good evening to Club President, Toastmasters and guests. It's definitely true that everything I experience influences everything I do. For me, life is an experience. In fact, as a tourist within my own country, I prefer to enjoy the journey rather than the end. Because life is so long, it has ups and downs. And every day there's an experience for me. Whatever experience I receive the day, I put it in my bank so that it can come to me as an idea, such as in the table topic today. So it becomes my bank account of ideas, whether it's good or bad, sad or happy. Each will be the input, or rather goes into my bank of ideas. And at the end of the day, or the day I leave this world, I will look back and see how all these experiences have influenced me and how I had grown with it to be a better, fuller person, and how I used it to influence other people, not only myself, but the people around me. That will be the best thing for me. Back to you, table topic master.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster of the Day. I now realize not only do I have Bank of Mom and Dad, I also have another bank where I can store experiences that will influence everything I do. Thank you for sharing that with us. Next, tell me and I forget. Teach me and I remember. Involve me and I learn, according to Benjamin Franklin. Tell me and I forget. Teach me and I remember. Involve me and I learn. Please welcome our club president, distinguished Toastmaster Willie Low. Mr. Club President, are you there?
Every time I tell you what to do, you forget. But when I teach you what to do, you remember. When I ask, get you involved, what is the reason why we join Toastmasters? Is to be given a fish or to learn how to fish and learn how to make our hands dirty, and we learn from mistakes. Many Toastmasters I have encountered with, they want you to give them the fish. Not to teach them how to fish because they have no time. They will always tell you, give me the answer. I will tell you, sorry, I will not teach you what to do. But I tell you where to find the fish. And the fish is Mr. Google. And Mr. Google is the best fishing rod in the whole world. If you go even type a query on Mr. Google, you will not learn. You will still come back to me because the information is there. It's free for you. All you need is just to type a query. Do not need to ask me. You just ask Mr. Google and he will involve you. He will teach you and you remember what to do
These
next.
came back from a search.
So, fellow Toastmaster, please learn to please learn to evolve yourself and you learn what you need to do. Over back to you, Toastmaster of the day. Table topic master.
Thank you, Mr. President. I love barramundi. So instead of asking you where the best spots are for me to fish, tomorrow I will ask Dr. Google to show me the best spots in Sydney to catch that barramundi. Thank you, Mr. President. I noticed someone just logged in, but distinguished Toastmaster Kanan Sankara Narayanan, would you like to try table topics?
Yes, why not? Definitely.
Excellent. As a parent, okay, what do you do? The first stage of leadership is letting go of being the perfect child. Letting go of being the perfect child. Please welcome distinguished Toastmaster Kanan Sankara Narayanan.
Thank you, Madam Table Topics Master, fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests. As a parent, what my language literature, which was written 3,000 years ago, said, that a person, a parent needs to make sure that his child should be excelling in all the fields. Then others should think, what good things that this man has done so that he has got that excellent kid. That is what everybody said. So being a parent, as a father of a son, I want my son always to be excelling in everything. But you know what? A kid is a kid. You cannot expect a kid to be excelling in everything. We have to take that. We have to make sure that we provide the right path for excelling, but at the same time, allow them to grow. Sometimes they may fail, sometimes they may be successful. You cannot blame them for the failure, and you have to guide them. Okay, this is the path you need to go. You need to enjoy everything, at the same time understand what the life can give. But move on. Don't be worried about the failure. A failure is the stepping stone for the success. I always tell my son that if you have a failure, don't worry about it. Just move on. You cannot be winning in everything. But make sure that every failure gives a lesson for you, so that you do not repeat the same mistake again and again. That's what I tell. My son is almost a perfect kid, but yes, if he has failed in some of the things, yes, he has failed, but is he excelling? Yes, I think that he is excelling. He is making sure that every step, that every failure that he has, he is converting into success. Back to you, Madam Tabletop Master.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Kanasankara Narayanan. Thank you for reminding us, okay, it's okay to fail. It's okay to fail as long as we learn from our mistakes. And that would help us to develop into a better person in the future. Thank you everyone for your participation. I have one last question available. Who has the burning desire to attempt table topics a second time? This is your last chance. Now don't all rush for it. Okay, this is your last chance. Toastmaster Abdul Karimi, I have the perfect question for you. Never stop learning, because life never stops teaching. Never stop learning, because life never stops teaching. Please welcome Toastmaster Abdul Karimi.
Yes, never stop learning. Life is full of learning. If you think you know everything, guess what? You don't know everything. Life is keep going. The time you stop learning is when the time you leave this earth. So we all should strive, push ourselves, continue, give all our energy, our power to keep learning. Because every single day we all as human beings makes mistakes. No one is perfect. If they want to try to be perfect, guess what is the answer? You keep learning, you keep pushing, you keep striving. So I want to ask you guys today, what is your mission? Where are you trying to go? How are you trying to take it? What is your purpose? Where do you want to be at the end of the light? And who do you want to pass this learning to? Don't be selfish. It's not all for you. The learning is for you, I, and everybody else. So when we look at how we can only learn by a teamwork. We all get together, help each other, push each other as a worker, as a friend, as an employee, as an employer, as a CEO, as a leader. We all get one in the same path. That's how we succeed, by learning. Back to you. Thank you.
Wow. What a fantastic answer, Toastmaster Abdul Karimi. Well done, everyone, all the table topic speakers tonight, for sharing with us, for enlightening us that leadership begins at home. May I have the timing, please, Mr. Timer, for the table topic speakers. We shall be conducting the vote shortly. The poll will be up. Please vote for your best table topic speaker. And with that, I will hand back to the Toastmaster of the day, Distinguished Toastmaster Alicia Chia.
Thank you, table topic Master Lee Buckley. That was a very fun table topic session. I thoroughly enjoyed it. We even have a speaker that had the last say for second round. Has the polling started? Yes, we see people voting. Very good. Polling has closed already. Now the time is 9:45. So we'll all go for a 15-minute break and be back by 10 p.m. for the second segment, the better speaking segment, which is the speeches, where we have arranged quite a few exciting speeches, which I think everybody will be keen to listen to. So let's all go for the break and be back on time at 10 p.m. Singapore time. Welcome back, everyone. I hope everyone had a very good break. And now I'd like to announce the next exciting segment, which is the better speaking segment, where we get to listen to a wide variety of speeches, all from the pathways and at higher levels, at least level 4, level 5. For the first speaker will be delivering his speech from the Leadership Development Level 4 Building Skills Public Relations Strategies. And his speech will range from 5 to 7 minute speech. Let us invite the speaker's evaluator, which is DTM Un Sin Sin, to share with us the purpose statement. DTM Un Sin Sin, please.
A good day to you, Toastmasters. The purpose of this project is for the member to practice the skills needed to effectively use public relations strategies for any group or situation. The purpose of this speech is for Kanan to share some aspect of his public relations strategy. All the best to you, Kanan.
You're mute, Toastmaster. Can you start?
Sorry about it. Now, before we welcome our speaker, I'd like to introduce our speaker, our first speaker, DTM Kanan Sankara. Kanan is a person who wants to be proficient in public speaking, and his goal is to speak proficiently without making grammar mistakes. So without much ado, I'd like to welcome DTM Kanan Sankara. DTM Kanan Sankara.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, my evaluator, and distinguished guests. When I started as a Vice President PR in a club 5 years ago, I did not have any knowledge about the public relations in Toastmaster. Based on the chat I had with other officers, I had developed a club newsletter which was liked by many club members. This newsletter was included in the welcome packet to the new members and to the guest packet to the guests at the time. I had incorporated these strategies in other clubs later. At the time, our local newspaper gave a small advertisement block for free what is happening in the city. So I utilized that to say that today is having a Toastmaster meeting, you can attend free of cost. Then the interesting things happened. I wanted to represent Toastmasters in an Indo-China festival. Think 5 years ago, no online, no Facebook, nothing. I carried around 20 application form, member application form, and couple of posters, and went to the booth for the Indo-China festival. Within 2 minutes, all the forms were taken by members. They told they are excited, we will come back. And so many members came and asked for form later, and I didn't have any form. I didn't have any facility to copy those forms and give it to them. I took all their email. I thought that I will send it to them later. This happened. I was disappointed. I should have taken more forms. So after that, there was an event in the University of Louisville. At the time, I was in Louisville. This time, I want to be very careful. I took nearly 150 forms, and I took so many posters, and I thought that I'm going to bring many members for the club. Guess what? What has happened? Not even 5 forms have been taken by the members. No student was interested to come to this club. Everybody went for the basketball. Everybody went for what you can call the quick recall. Everybody went for other things. Toastmasters, nobody was showing any interest. Even we shared some pizzas. No, nobody came there. This was one of the things I failed in the public relations strategies. At the time, I approached Toastmasters to include their logo in the Facebook. They said, no, we are not authorized to include any of the Toastmaster material in the Facebook or in any social media. That was 5 years back. Think now, every club has a website, every club has got a Facebook, every club has got social media, Twitter, WhatsApp. My club officers meet using WhatsApp. Everything is using like that. So I started using Facebook for my club. This is now after nearly now 1 year, 1.5 years back. We were tracking the number of visitors, and the number did not increase after 30 visitors. I was worried why it is not increasing. Then I came to know that Facebook has got an advertisement mode. If we pay $12.50 per day for any new event, it will attract hundreds and thousands of visitors, hundreds to thousands of visitors. So Toastmasters, if you are broadcasting any event, make sure that you advertise. You go on the advertisement mode and pay $12.50 per day. You will have more hits. I thought of using Meetup. Trust me, I am not very good using the telephone chat. I can use email very well. Our District 18 has paid the Meetup subscription to the level. They paid up for $80. So we can use the Meetup and then broadcast to all the club that we are meeting. Toastmaster meeting is happening today. So we utilize the Meetup. There was an event about our division, and there was a funny part. I broadcasted the event to all the Toastmasters. Guess what? You know that I am very good in the text. I told you already, right? What I did is, instead of putting as District 18, there was another button for the world. I put as a world by mistake. Guess what? It went to everyone and everybody got upset. So fellow Toastmasters, when you are sending text messages or Meetup messages, be careful. You need to pick the right audience. Even then, the most funny part is that advertisement, that Meetup advertisement continued even after the event is complete, and I have to call every of the members to take some effort to cancel that. Otherwise, you would have been coming, because Meetup customer support said they can't do anything. So, fellow Toastmasters, I have some positive experience in the public relations strategies. I have negative experience in public relations strategies. As we spoke right time, it is not considered as a failure. Failure is a success for each step. But just to summarize, Facebook attracts more visitors if you see advertisement mode. That needs to be taken care of. We should not use a tool without knowing it fully. We need to make sure that we understand the tool so that we send the right message to the right audience. And we need to plan for the event very well, and we need to have the right strategy and right target audience. We still hope that our club will have more members, and we will employ future strategies using the social media effectively. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you, DTM, Kanan, Sankara, for sharing us how public relations strategies, if done well, can really help to bring audience to your chapter meetings. Now, next up, we have the second speaker who will be presenting Open Day Persuasive Influence Level 4 Building Skills, Leading in Difficult Situations. This will be a 5 to 7 minute speech, and it will be followed by 5 to 10 minutes for impromptu responses. So let's invite our evaluator for speaker 2, Toastmaster Thomas Chen, to share with us the purpose statement. Thomas, over to you.
Sure. So, Queen Buckley, the purpose statement of your speech today. The purpose of this project is for the member to practice strategies for adjusting to unexpected changes to a finalized plan. All the best.
Now, the speaker will be speaking on O-Week, which is a fantastic avenue for university clubs to promote themselves to new students. And the speaker will be sharing how the university does to attract new members for the semester. The title of a speech is O-Week Membership Campaign. So without much ado, let us welcome DTM Lee Buckley.
Imagine this. You've just enrolled in a course and about to embark on a lifetime of journey. You were so excited you received an invitation to attend O-Week, orientation week, that is. Excitedly, you rocked up to the campus. You were ushered into the auditorium where you were bombarded with tons of information on, how you should study, what are the services available to you, what you should do to make the most of your life at university. After hours of that, you stepped out of the auditorium. Good news, you saw in the distance lots of booths available. Those were the clubs, the university clubs that will add spices to your life at university. You rock up to the booths. You zoomed in on one booth. It says, Toastmasters! Great, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Today, I will be sharing with you some of the membership campaign that a university Toastmasters club can do to attract members. During my speech, I will be sharing with you an overview of the project. I will also tell you about the project team, the resources, the budget, and to give you some ideas of the key deliverables and milestones. You will have an opportunity to ask questions at the end of my presentation. And of course, just like a good academic, my last slide will list all the references that I've used. What is All Week membership campaign? It is a campaign to increase club memberships. All Week is a fantastic avenue to have new students. This is where all the new students are excited about embarking their journey. It is also when they are scared the most. What if I can't give that presentation? What if the lecturer asks me to present in front of the class? Here comes Toastmasters to the rescue. So the aim of the project is to increase club memberships and to introduce Toastmasters to new students. The project team. Of course, any good project needs a good project team. We envisage the project team to consist of the Vice President Public Relations of the club as the project manager to drive this campaign. He or she will be assisted by other members of the club, as well as from the university, the campus director and members of the orientation team. With that in mind, the team will go and plan the project. Three key things: information booth, the volunteers, as well as resources. I've shared with you a shot of what we did at our university. We had a booth at orientation, and guess what? Instead of just the normal Toastmasters, we added some spice. We had toasts. We cooked toast at the information booth. We offered them. We had gluten-free in addition to the normal toast and raisin toast. Do you like that caption? Toast needs you. We attracted quite a few people to the booth. In order to tell them about Toastmasters, we had to organize some resources as well. We had some magazines, the banner, some flyers to distribute, as well as the laptop. With the laptop running Toastmasters in the background, it also gives an opportunity for visitors to the booth to ask questions. And if they were not sure of certain things, we could tell them, did you know there are 11 paths that you can embark on? And then we can show them straight away. The third key element is, of course, volunteers. We need volunteers to, I would say, person the booth, not man the booth. In order to cover an 8-hour shift, we decided to divide the volunteers into teams of 4. So this is to cater for in case we have members who will not be able to turn up or who got called away for certain situations. So there were teams of 4s manning the booth or personing the booth on 2-hour shifts as well. Money, of course, that's important. Okay? Just like any project, we need to make sure that we have the budget to work with, and we were able to spend money within our budget. With the information booth, a lot of the booths were sponsored by the university. So they would sponsor the table, the chairs, the backdrops, as well as any electrical cable that were required. The budget that the club has to come up with is the budget to print the flyers, or in our case, to buy the raisin toast and the normal toasts as well. We allocated about $50 for the open day, and this is a good budget to start with because we don't want to overspend in terms of printing too many flyers. As we learned from our first speaker's experience, he had a lot of flyers, but only 5 were taken. So from previous experience, we anticipated that we needed about 20 flyers or so because we had the electronic resources of the website on the laptop. We had sign-up sheets for guests or new members who were interested to join the club so that we were able to follow up with them. So if we look at the key deliverables and the milestones, information booth, we need to make sure we organize with the student services and the orientation team at least 4 weeks prior to the event. We had to make sure we had the sign-up sheets and everything was set up at least a day prior to the event. With Toastmasters paraphernalia, we had some spare flyers. In addition to that, we also printed additional flyers that we downloaded from the website. We had to make sure we had the banner and of course, to set up the laptop for the day. Shifts with the volunteers were confirmed at least a week prior and also the night before, just in case there were some last-minute changes. So ladies and gentlemen, now that we've shared with you and inspired you in terms of what you can do, to drive membership, a campaign in this particular case that has been tailored to university clubs. I would urge you, to please consider this plan. You may take it and adapt it to other situations as well. And I would like to now open up for any questions and answers for members of the audience. And of course, before that, I will share with you my references slide. Ladies and gentlemen, don't be shy. Don't rush all at once. Okay, I know you have burning questions. I am here to answer your questions. Please feel free to unmute your mic. Has anyone got any questions?
Yeah, sure. I will start the ball rolling then, Professor Buckley. So just wondering, what is in it for us to recruit these members? I mean, with more members in my club, I would have fewer speaking slots. Why would I sacrifice my opportunity to learn for more members? So what is in it for us?
Toastmaster Thomas Chen, remember our club mission. We are here to provide supportive environment, positive and supportive learning environment. As we develop, we share with the others, we help them grow, and we grow ourselves as well. Doesn't matter if you don't have these speaking slots. You can always zoom around the world at this point in time. You can speak in Australia. You can speak somewhere else. The key thing is we want to help as many people as possible that we can. And this is a good way to get them started on their journey. Has anyone else got any questions?
Toastmaster Lee, I didn't believe I got whether or not there was a cost to joining the club, and how does the cost of joining the club affect recruiting new membership?
I'm sorry, Toastmaster Edward, could you please repeat the question? A cost or a vote?
Yes, is there a cost of joining the club? Is there a fee?
A cost. Yeah, sorry. Yep. Just like any of us, okay, we pay membership fees as well. With the cost of joining the club, we only charge the standard Toastmasters International club fees. We don't charge anything on top of that because the facilities, including printing, were provided by the university. With the small fee that was charged by Toastmasters International, imagine what you get in return. You're able to pursue, you can choose to start with one path out of the 11 that's available. You are able to not only enhance your learning experience, but have the benefit of experienced Toastmasters in the club to help you with the journey. This is very useful. Particularly, I've witnessed this in the past trimesters where I had students in my class. At the beginning of the class, they didn't say a word at all. After joining Toastmasters, within a year, they won the area humorous speech contest and then went on to win 3rd place at division humorous speech contest. So it does help them. And I have also seen some of my students getting jobs because they practice their impromptu speaking skills, and also getting high distinctions in class for presentations as well. So imagine, for a small fee charged by Toastmasters International, you're able to gain all those benefits. I see that the red light is on. Has anyone got any last burning question? If not, thank you everyone for your time and your participation. I will be around if you have any other questions. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you, DTM Lee Buckley, for bringing us back to orientation days. That was so many years ago, and how it can be challenging as well. Now, next up, we have our last speaker, speaker 3. She will be embarking on her last level 5 project, which is on a presentation mastery level 5, demonstrating expertise. Prepare to speak professionally. So this level is quite interesting. I will get our timer to read out the timing sequence. Toastmaster Abdul Karimi.
Sure. Do you want the speaker one?
Yes, the speakers. Thank you.
Sure. I got Kenneth, 6 minutes and 50 seconds.
Oh, sorry, not the speakers. For Angela's speech now.
Oh, Angela's speech, yeah, I got 10 minutes and 15 seconds, right on time.
Oh, sorry, because Angela is delivering the level 5, prepare to speak professionally, which is quite a long speech. So can you share with us the timing sequence? Thank you.
Angela's going to be between 18, 20, 22. Okay, it's going to be a long one. So everyone, please, just wanted to let you know that she's going to be 18 minutes long.
Thank you, Mr. Timer, Toastmaster Abdul Karimi.
Sure.
Now, let us invite her evaluator, DTM Anand, to share with us the purpose statement. DTM Anand. All right. I think Adnan is not available, so I will share the purpose statement, which is basically the speaker Angela has reached level 5, and now she'll be preparing to speak professionally. And this speech will take at least 18 to 20 minutes. And before we invite Angela, Toastmaster Angela, to speak, I'd like to introduce Angela as the author of a book. She's the author of a book on how to get out of the mess you're in. She also writes blogs. Toastmaster Angela Lansbury, ACG ALB, will be speaking on the speech title, Life is Simple. Teach your children. So over to you, Toastmaster Angela Lansbury. Who is Angela?
Do I have an evaluator?
Your evaluator is not here at the moment, so would anyone here like to volunteer to evaluate Angela's speech, which is going to be 18 to 22 minutes?
Or else I can have evaluation.
Otherwise, it will be a silent evaluation for you.
Or an evaluation from everybody if they get the link from the chat.
All right.
To the form.
Okay, we can have a round robin evaluation then.
Thank you.
But first, before we get the round robin evaluation, let's just have a few volunteers who would like to volunteer to be one of the round robin evaluators. Can I get some volunteers? Richard, would you like to be one of the evaluators? Okay. CJ? Can I have Jennifer Lim as well? Is that all right with you guys? How about Shanshan as well?
Okay.
So we have 4 evaluators, Jennifer Lim, CJ, Shanshan, and Richard Sung. And everyone will get about 2 minutes to evaluate Angela. So Angela, you may proceed once you're ready.
Thank you very much, Alicia. A wonderful welcome to all of you. I'm sure you're all dying to know why life is so simple and what you should teach your children. Life is so simple. When I was a child, I thought everything was difficult. I didn't know how to cook, and there was a girl in my class whose parents were blind, and she cooked every meal for the family, and I was very impressed. Other people grew food. I didn't know how to do that. I didn't know how people made clothes, although my ancestors were all in making clothes. They were tailors. Now I can tell you how to do everything. It's so simple. For example, most plants and most humans, they depend on 3 things: water, sunlight, and food. A lot of plants, all they need is water and sunlight. Let me give you an example. This, I recently learned, is how you grow a plant from a cutting. That's a piece of lemongrass bought from a supermarket. Each piece is cut into 3. You stick it in water in the sunlight, and it grows a root from the bottom and a plant from the top. And that is basically how plants grow. A lot of plants. Others you can grow from seeds, or you can plant tubers like potatoes in the ground, and things will grow in the dark. So some things will grow in the dark, others like sunlight. So easy. Of course, it gets more complicated. If you want to go further into it, you can add potting compost, you can grow wonderful things. But the basic principle is the same. Now, there are 2 things that would help you to know about plants. For example, could you plant an apple and get apple trees? In theory, yes. But many plants are like human beings. For example, if you cut my hair off, you will get the same color hair in the piece that you cut off as is on my head. If, on the other hand, I have a child, it won't necessarily look identical to me. The same applies to a lot of plants. If you plant an apple, you don't get the same apple tree. And a lot of things you have to do a cutting to get an identical plant. Because if you take a seed, you get a whole random lot of plants in the same way that seeds from human beings will make lots of different human beings. Okay, we have now discovered how easy it is to grow plants, which I'm doing on my balcony, and it's very easy to teach children that you simply cut up a piece of lemongrass, put it in water, and you grow a plant. My family, my mother-in-law used to grow avocado plants by taking an avocado stone, putting it between 2 toothpicks on top of a bottle of water. If you put a plant in something that's see-through, you can see when it's grown a root. Why do you bother to do this? Why don't you just stick it in the earth? The reason for that is because those little roots will have struggle to push their way through big stones and other things in the ground. So you wait till the roots are quite strong. You can see in the water the plant is strong, it's got strong roots, and then you take it out. Same with human beings. You grow your little children at home, and when they're strong, you let them go out. Now, what about cooking? When I was a child, I was always puzzled by cooking. I thought cooking was terribly difficult. People grew their own food and then they cooked it. I had no idea how you cooked a chicken. I tried cooking cakes with my mother and found it quite difficult, though icing was great fun. And I imagined that the chicken, which was even bigger, was much harder to cook and more complicated. It isn't. Cooking is just a fancy word for heating. Most cooking is simply heating something. Anybody can put something nowadays in a microwave or in an oven. You just have to get the temperature right so it doesn't get too hot and it doesn't cook on the outside but not in the middle. And if you chop it up and it's not a microwave but a conventional oven, then it will cook more through the middle and not just on the outside. That's all there is to it. Once you grasp that principle, you can then start looking at the refinements. But for example, when I put something in a microwave, it's very simple. You put it in for half a minute, have a look, see what the middle's like. If you need it longer, put it in another half minute, see how it's going, and keep going. The same with cooking anything else, except that some things like cakes are basically a mousse with lots of holes in, and the holes sink if you let the cake or whatever you're cooking into the air and out of the heat, and then it sinks before it has time to grow hard. Now, a human being is very similar and simple. You put water inside yourself, you get water out. If you haven't got enough water, your urine is going to be dark colored. If you've got enough water, it's going to be pale colored. A doctor can look at your urine and see what's happening, and you can look at your own. The same goes for your food. If you're constipated, you need more liquid. If you eat fruit, it's all full of liquid and it helps relieve constipation. There's nothing mysterious or magic about it once you grasp the basic principle. Let's move on to the next big mystery, clothes. How do you pack lots of clothes for your holidays? When I was a teenager, I packed randomly. I would arrive and find I'd got 4 tops and they didn't match the skirts. And one year I went away and I forgot to pack underwear. Then I went away and forgot to pack a swimsuit. I had no organization. Then I discovered a packing list. Same for shopping. When I was a child, my mother would go out and just pick things at random. And then one day I discovered shopping lists. Now everything is done for you. You can find lists for everything you want to do. You can even find a diary with a list that organizes your entire day with hours in it so that you can plan everything. How do you arrive on time at a Toastmasters meeting? You set an alarm. Very simple. Now to go back to the packing. I was a travel writer and I had to pack a very small bag because I might be carrying it myself, and I didn't know how long my trip was going to be. I might be asked to offer the chance to stay an extra day. So what did I do? The first thing was I always had a scarf. So if I had a low top to sit on the beach in the day and someone suddenly said, we're going into a 5-star hotel for lunch, I could put a scarf round. If I went into a church or a religious building, I could put my scarf on. I also took away reversible dresses. Here's a reversible dress. I've got 8 of these reversible dresses. One year, somebody recently reminded me, I went away to a writer's group, a writer's holiday in Wales, and I carried a suitcase. I had 2 reversible dresses in the suitcase, and I was wearing 2 more. So that gave me a lot of dresses to wear. Now, what happens when you are stuck at home and you've got no clothes. You've got a cupboard full of clothes but nothing to wear. Most clothes can be made smaller or larger. No great mystery to it. If your clothes are too tight, you slip them down the sides, you put in a piece of ribbon, 2 pieces of ribbon, or a piece of material, or ribbons like a ladder to keep the thing level. Then what do you do? Does it look funny? What if you can't sew neatly? Very simple. You put on a jacket and nobody can see. You can even have something cut at the back and put a ribbon across it and wear a jacket over it. What happens if things are too big? Again, very simple. You just put a row of stitches down, turn it inside out, put the stitches down, and there it is, smaller. To my husband, it's a great mystery how you sew on a button or darn something. It is not a mystery. It's very simple. If you could be bothered, I would show you. Everything is like that. It's really simple. As was said earlier by one of our members, you can go onto our Uncle Google or Mr. Google and look up anything. For example, the celery or the lemongrass, how to grow it. For years of mystery, I recently discovered how to do it. If you have any questions, please call me. And finally, I will tell you about my area of expertise, which is books. I wanted to know how to write a book. The first time I wrote a book, what you do is you start by taking somebody else's work and adapting it. For example, before I started making my own clothes, I would take clothes which had been made by other people which were too small or too big, and I would expand them. Then I could see how you made them smaller. And then I had the courage to go on and make my own. Something similar happened when I was writing a book. You can look at someone else's book and see how it's structured and copy it. When I came to do a website, my son said to me, and he's in the business, go to another website, look at it, see what you like, and copy it. By the time you've fiddled around and changed the colors and changed the font and given it your title, it'll be all different, it'll be unique and yours, but you've got all the basic ideas to give you a plan. Quotations. How do you find quotations? I couldn't find short quotations I could remember, so I wrote my own book, Quick Quotations. I was in a muddle with everything, so I wrote my own book, How to Get Out of the Mess You're In. I couldn't remember which days people said things when I was giving a speech, so I wrote my own book, Who Said What When. Everything you want to do or your children want to do is very simple. You just make a list, go and find out how it's been done and adapt it. And if there's anything you want help with, please contact me and I will help you, whether it's cooking, dressmaking, travel, or writing. Back to you, Toastmaster of the Day. But if anyone has any questions, I would be happy to answer them.
Right, thank you, Toastmaster Angela Lansbury, for sharing us that life is actually very simple. It's just that we humans have this tendency to make things complicated. But if we practice simplicity, life will be so much easier to live, right? So we have come to the end of the Better Speaking segment, and I'm sure everybody enjoyed the speeches. So let us now vote for the best speaker.
What was the timing?
later we will share the timing. Well, let's get everyone to vote for the best speaker first. Oh yes, Toastmaster, Mr. Timer, Toastmaster Abdul Karimi, can you share with us the timing?
Oh man, I'm sorry about the computer. Can you hear me now? Okay, I got Mr. Kenneth, 6 minutes and 50 seconds. I got Miss Lee, 10 minutes and 15 seconds, right on time. And then I got Angela, 14 minutes. Copy?
Yes, thank you. Thank you,
Good.
Toastmaster Abdul Karimi.
Thank you, thank you. I'm tracking everything on time, everything.
Oh, I can
Excellent.
I can speak for another 6 minutes. I didn't see the timer.
Yeah, because it's supposed to be, 18, then I would have done the green light, 20, like that yellow, then red, but yeah. Thank you.
We have 66% voted. So let's all vote, put in our votes for the best speaker before I release everyone for a break. Right. Once we hit 2 minutes, we'll end the polling. I've ended the poll, and now the time is 10:48 Singapore time. Let us have a good break. We'll come back at 11 p.m. Singapore time, or give yourself 10 minutes to come back. Welcome back, everyone, for our third and final segment of the program, which is the better listening segment, or what we call the evaluation segment. For this segment, we have our team of evaluators who will be providing their valuable feedback to our speakers. Our first evaluator is DTM Un Sin Sim. She's a civil servant, and she believes that life is not about doing many different things, but doing things differently. So let us all put our hands together to welcome DTM Un Sin Sim, please.
A very good day to you, President, Toastmaster of the Day, fellow Toastmasters and guests, and especially distinguished Toastmaster Kanan. Kanan, I love the voice color projected during your presentation. You spoke emotionally when your PR strategies failed, and you spoke with passion and power when you recommend suitable social media like Facebook to your audience. And now, I have 3 recommendations for your consideration. First, I would like to direct your focus on the objectives of this speech. Today's speech, the purpose of this speech is for you to share some aspect of your public relations strategy. So I was looking forward to an informational speech. I was hoping to see a plan where you, number 1, outline the goal, number 2, the PR strategies, and number 3, the various tactics. So for example, when I talk about goal, you could mention, for example, your goal is to enhance your club vibrancy and vitality. And number 2, for club strategies, you could say, for example, I want to capture a growth of 20 members at the end of the year. Then you could share your strategies, various tactics that you could employ across multiple platforms and channels, such as social media like Facebook and PR events like Meetup and more. Okay, so this plan could have been drawn up after you have assessed your past and present situation. And that's when you bring in your edit notes about the lessons you learned from the blunders you made 5 years ago without knowledge of public relations strategies. Secondly, I also like to ask you to connect with the audience by looking straight into the camera instead of looking at a script. You could actually place a script on a standing clipboard and then put it beside your laptop cover, and so that will help you to keep focusing on your guests, on your audience. So in summary, you have lovely voice color. Continue to work a bit on it. Then consider aligning your strategy with the purpose statements and study the evaluators' notes more closely. Connect with your audience with better eye contact. I'm looking forward to your next speech, Kanan.
Thank you, DTM Un Sin Sin, for giving us such a comprehensive and valuable evaluation. Now, next up, we have our second evaluator, CCCL Thomas Chen, who will be evaluating on DTM Toastmaster Lee Buckley's speech. CCCL Thomas Chen comes from a few Toastmaster clubs, one of which is Parisian Toastmaster Club. And he's a very energetic Toastmaster. And without much ado, let us please welcome CCCL Thomas Chen. Over to you, Thomas.
Amazing day, ladies and gentlemen. In District 80, people usually call me Thomas the Train or Thomas the Toastmaster. But if Buckley is in District 80, I will never stand a chance because she is truly an embodiment of Toastmasters itself. From her presentation about event organization, we know that not only is she an excellent speaker, but also an excellent leader. I'll split my evaluation into two parts, commendations and recommendations. So what did Buckley do excellently? Firstly, it was her ability to trigger audience visualization. And she used the two strongest tools, storytelling and pictures. Storytelling at the start where she asked us to imagine ourselves being in the event itself, and the pictures of the event which she weaved into her presentation truly helped us to internalize and visualize how the events would play out. And secondly, it was the holistic and wholesome sharing and details she placed. Before that, I think the timer you are following table topics instead of evaluation because it's a bit fast. All right, so back to my evaluation. It was the wholesome and holistic details she gave all of us. She covered different areas of the event organization, the context, the theme, the orientation, the booth, to show us all the different angles which we have to cover in order to have an effective and productive membership recruitment. And thirdly, it was the confidence and clarity which she exuded, how she addressed the disruption. There was this very disruptive and annoying Toastmaster who asked about the speaking slots. So unreasonable, and yet she's still able to address it calmly and coolly because she has crystal clear clarity about the purpose itself. Now, I will share some recommendations to bring this a little bit even higher, but I'm truly nitpicking because it's already so good. So firstly, I encourage Buckley to cut down on the number of words because it will make it very content intensive and we may not be able to focus on the different angles. And also broaden the application to deepen the relatability so that you can draw up some learning lessons which we can apply not only in Toastmasters but outside of Toastmasters context. So in summary, job well done, great organization, great visualization, and great confidence. Consider to cut down the number of words and broaden the application. Back to you, Toastmaster of the evening.
Thank you, Toastmaster Thomas Chen.
Sorry, before that, may I comment? Because I time myself is 2:30, so the timer, do take note for evaluation, is supposed to 3 minutes, 30 seconds. Yeah.
All right, thank you, Toastmaster Thomas Chen, for sharing with us your valuable evaluation for DTM Lee Buckley's speech. Now for the last speaker, our evaluator, we are doing a round robin evaluation last speaker. And we have 3 evaluators to share the evaluation for Toastmaster Angela Lansbury. And let us have our timer to share us the sequence for the evaluation, the timing sequence for the evaluation. Toastmaster Abdul Karimi, can you share with us?
Yes. Yes, I got Simpson, 2 minutes and 20 seconds.
Sorry, not the individual timing, but rather the timing sequence for the last speaker, which is where we have 3 evaluators who will evaluate Angela's speech. This is a special round robin evaluation. So because of it, we will not have the normal 3.5 minutes, but a shorter one. So Abdul, can you share with us the shorter timing sequence?
It's 1, 1.5, and 2.
Abdul?
Alicia, I think you need to tell him because...
Okay, never mind, I will share the timing sequence. The timing sequence will be similar to a table topic timing sequence because we have 3 evaluators. So for the first minute, once you hit first minute, Abdul will show the green screen, 1.5 minute, the yellow screen, 2 minutes red screen, and you have 30 seconds to wrap up. So Abdul, can you reset your timing?
Yes.
Thank you.
Again, can someone send it? Because sometimes I cannot hear it breaking up.
Oh, I see. So
Please,
we are doing the timing sequence is similar to table topic timing sequence because we have 3 speakers.
Okay.
All right.
I apologize about earlier, Mr. Thomas, about your timing. I apologize about that.
Oh, no worries, it's okay. I think Sim also thought that she's going out of time, but
yeah. So
actually
whoever
was,
I did no mistake. Sorry about that, guys.
No worries.
No worries.
Okay.
No worries.
No worries.
No worries. For the first evaluator, we have Toastmaster Jennifer Lim. Jennifer Lim is IP3. Jennifer Lim will share with us her evaluation for Toastmaster Angela Lansbury's speech. Over to you, Toastmaster Jennifer Lim.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, Alicia. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and friends, as well as guests. Angela, the title of your speech, Life is Simple, Teach Your Children. Hearing the title, I was wondering, what else can I teach my children? So I listened intently to your speech. I realized that you have very good content for 9 points that you have given in your speech. How to grow plant with compost, cooking of chicken, health in terms of if your urine is yellow and you have constipation, it means that you need more water, packing of travel luggage, shopping list, Toastmasters, timing of meetings, packing of clothes, what to pack, dressmaking, and writing of a book. Your content to all these 9 points are valid and very good. The one thing that I would like to point out is that I couldn't see your screen. I couldn't see you as a speaker. It's just a black screen. So I don't know about your body language, eye contact, and so on. I really cannot tell that. So I suggest that you come in earlier and have this rectified because it's good because we are doing a Zooming session. Now, I would like to challenge you on the vocal variety because
to me, I do not hear different tone for your speech. I can tell you about body language and all that. And my challenge as well to you is to emphasize on 3 points, because you really have a lot of points, 9 points, so much so that I was a bit lost at times with your speech. And the message, what do I teach my children? My children are big now, so I don't really get your message. So, but all in all, your content is good, and I look forward to your next speech. Thank you. Back to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jennifer Lim, for sharing us your evaluation on Toastmaster Angela Lansbury's speech. Now we have the second evaluator, Toastmaster IPS DL4, CJ Lim, to share with us his evaluation on Angela Lansbury's speech. Over to you, Toastmaster CJ.
Fantastic Friday, Club President, fellow Toastmaster and distinguished guests, especially to you, Angela. You are calm, cool, collected. You share with us your personal story. You have met the objective of the speech by sharing with us 2 important points. Number 1, you have compelling content and you deliver your speech well. You are as cool as a cucumber. You use a volume of vivid vocabulary. Second, you share with us your personal story and people feel connected to you. As the saying goes, facts tell, stories sell. To improve on your speech, you can add in pauses, because sometimes I feel that you are going too fast. You can just add in pause just before you deliver the punchline. Add in pauses to create tension in the audience. For example, you can ask the audience question and pause. Pause longer when you ask a question. For example, can you imagine how difficult it is to teach a naughty children? The challenge for you to soar to greater height is to add in a role play. You can reenact the different scenario between 2 people. Add in dialogue to bring out the interaction between 2 characters. For example, I want to see how you can breathe life into character. All in all, Angela is an eloquent speaker. She's as cool as a cucumber. She excels in her speech content and delivery. Just to take note, to add dialogue in your speech, to reenact the different scenarios between 2 characters, and add pauses to draw us in. The challenge for you to soar to greater heights is to add in PowerPoint or use props to engage the audience more. As you know, a picture is worth 1,000 words. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to share my favorite quote from Maya Angelou. People will forget what you say. People will forget what you did. But people will never forget how you make them feel. I feel that you can connect to the audience more by engaging us by asking more questions. Back to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you, Toastmaster CJ Lim, for sharing us such a wonderful evaluation on Toastmaster Angela Lansbury's speech. Now we have the third and final evaluator to evaluate Angela Lansbury's speech, and that is our very own DTM, Li Shanshan. Li Shanshan Toastmaster Li Shanshan comes from a few clubs: Astro Toastmaster Club, Toa Payoh Soft Toastmaster Club, and our very own Singapore Online Toastmaster Club as well. Let us now welcome DTM Li Shanshan. Over to you.
All right, thank you. And if I read the contest rulebook correctly, I am not supposed to repeat what the previous speakers have spoken about. And in fact, they have spoken what I wanted to say already. But I, of course, still have something else to say. Angela, yes, although we can't see you on the screen, we can hear your voice. And you have a very powerful voice, and you're speaking slowly, coherently, and sometimes, yes, you tend to go very fast. Like myself, when I get nervous, I go very fast as well. So slow down and speak. Because, in fact, your timing is 14 minutes. You have 18 to 22 minutes to cover the speech. So you can continue some more. Before you see the green light hasn't come up, you can continue speaking until the green light comes up. Emphasize on that. Think of more content to switch into the green light. Of course, you have too many contents. Maybe you could focus on perhaps packing your luggage. Expand on that. You can have a lot of scenarios on that packing of luggage. Like for myself, as a job with the tour consulting as my job, you tend to forget, oh, I forget that it's winter season. Oh, I forget that it's summer season. I pack winter clothes in summer season. Especially when you're so used to the winter in summer months in winter months. Like Australia, it's the whole different settings altogether. Singapore is having summertime, they're having their winter time. So naturally, you might think that you are packing wrongly. So fit this into your storyline as well. Whenever you have something to say, focus on what you want to say and don't digress. Because sometimes when you finish one sentence, you suddenly switch to another topic. We're like, were you talking about your books? How come suddenly you're talking about packing luggage? Where is the link? So try to fit in the link together and continue your story. Do not try to put in too many scenarios into one speech, although your timing allows you to have many scenarios as possible. But try to keep on to one scenario, expand that for the whole speech. All in all, it's a good speech, and I look forward to hearing the next speech from you, Angela. Thank you. Back to you, Alicia.
Thank you, DTM Li Shan, for giving us the third side of the valuable evaluation for Toastmaster Angela Lansbury. Now, we have come to the end of the program, so let us invite our timer Toastmaster Abdul Karimi to report on the timings for all the evaluators who have given their evaluation speech. Over to you, Abdul.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
I'm having a rough day today with this internet thing.
No worries, no worries. You're okay. Please go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead, go ahead. Alicia, I sent you a message, by the way.
Can you hear me? Yes, so can you repeat that again, please? What do you need exactly?
All right. Okay, there's a message. Before you read the timing, there's a request for me. Okay, just hold on. Okay.
Okay.
All right. We have some time here. So I have this special request from Toastmaster Thomas to allow Toastmaster Sim and Thomas to redo their evaluation, as Toastmaster Kanan is back now. So I'd like to invite.
Wait, before that, we check if Sim is still there. Sim, are you there? Yeah, hello.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sim, are you ready?
So before that timer, do take note, it's 3.5 minutes for me and Sim. 3.5. So 2 minute green, 3 minute yellow, and 2 minute 30 seconds yellow and 3 minutes red. Yeah. Sorry, the queen was staring at me. I need to edit my response.
Should be 3 minutes, right? No, 3 minutes and 30.
3.5 minutes normal, right?
3.5 minutes, right? All in all.
Yes, correct.
It's at 30 seconds, right? Oh. Well, Thomas, you want me to do again?
Because just now it was 2 minutes and 30 seconds, so I think you still got quite a bit to say, right?
Oh yeah, that's right. I said, why so short?
Yeah, that's why I was also looking. But no worries, it's okay. We are learning.
Okay.
I got to admit it because I apologize. I got mixed up with the speakers.
No worries.
No worries.
It's okay,
They like
never
to
mind.
speak, so we are allowing them to redo.
Yeah, we do this for our profession, so it's okay.
A mistake. I'm going to keep learning. It's okay. Thank you.
Wait, I need to look for my notes.
Me.
Okay, so is Kanan there? Just now?
Yes,
Is
Kanan is
still
back.
there?
Yes, Kanan is back.
Kanan is back, huh? Okay. Kanan, you there? Say hello to me. If not, I'm speaking to nobody again. I mean, Kanan, you there?
Hello. Hello.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Okay, so I'll start, all right? A very good day to the president, the Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters and guests. I love the voice color projected by you during your presentation. You spoke emotionally when your PR strategies failed, and you spoke with passion and power when you recommend suitable social media like Facebook, use of Facebook to your audience. And now I have 3 recommendations, for your consideration. I thought your speech should have been more informational than being anecdotal. Because if you let you to look at closely at the objectives of the speech, which is to share some aspect of your public relations strategy. So I was looking forward to an informational speech as suggested in the evaluator's notes as well. I was hoping to see a plan where you outline firstly the goal, the PR strategies, and then the various tactics that you will employ to follow your strategy. So for example, your goal, it could have been like, say for example, to enhance my club vibrancy and vitality. And my PR strategies could have been just witness a growth of 20 members in my club at the end of the year. And the strategies, the tactics that you employ could be across multiple platforms and channels such as social media like FB, PR events like Meetup, and more. So this plan have been drawn up, would have been drawn up after you have assessed your past and current situation. And this will be the point where you bring in your personal stories about the lessons you learned from the blunders you made 5 years ago without knowledge of PR strategies. Secondly, I thought you can connect with the audience better by looking straight into the camera instead of looking down, just focusing on the script. You could place a script on, say, on a standing clipboard, and then you put it beside your laptop cover or just by the side of your desktop. Then as you look at your script, you would have looked into the camera as well, so your audience will feel connected with you. Thirdly, I thought you can take care of the lighting. Perhaps you, to remove the shadows around you and be more clearly visible and not, sitting in a shadow, you could sit under a bright light. Or you have light around you, then your face will have shown up more clearly and will feel more connected to you. So in summary, I think it's good that you continue to develop your voice color, then consider aligning your strategies closely with the purpose statements and also study the evaluator's notes. And lastly, connect with the audience with better eye contact and better lighting. And I look forward to your next speech, Kanan. All the best to you. Back to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you, DTM Un Sin Sin, for sharing with us once again your evaluation of DTM Kanan's speech. Now let's move on to the second evaluator, CCCL Thomas Chen, who will be evaluating DTM Toastmaster Lee Buckley's speech. Over to you, Toastmaster Thomas Chen.
Amazing day once again, ladies and gentlemen, especially to Lee Buckley. Lee Buckley is indeed the Bruce Lee of public speaking. And I will start off by sharing the strength of hers, which made her such a formidable practitioner. So firstly, it was her ability to trigger audience visualization. And how did she do this? Storytelling as well as pictures. So if we were to recall at the start, she brought us on this journey of discovery using storytelling itself. How will the CCA fair be like? And she goes into the specific details itself. And moving on to the pictorial usage, which she integrated perfectly into her presentation itself. It truly helped us to imagine the whole scene out in our head so that we can truly visualize and internalize how a membership recruitment should be effectively executed. Secondly, she was really holistic and wholesome when it comes to the elaboration of the event itself. She shared with us the context, the theme, the orientation, the booth, what to expect, the budget itself. All of these different areas and aspects are truly essential for the effective organization of the membership recruitment. And it develops a holistic picture for us to be deeply immersed into this whole process itself. And of course, not to mention her radiance of confidence and clarity itself. So despite all the disruption, even from this annoying Toastmaster who asked about the speaking slot, she was able to address it accordingly because she had crystal clear clarity of the purpose of Toastmasters and she had perfect understanding of how the procedure is like. So she did not waver, but she stood firm and she addressed all the different possibilities to a very professional level. So now I would love to share some recommendations to enhance her Toastmasters Kung Fu. So firstly, Buckley, you had amazing PowerPoint slides, vibrant pictures, elaborated details. But do consider to cut down on the number of words as well as the pictures for clearer conveyance of message itself. So what I would encourage you to do when you have the time, go check out this TED Talk, which is very popular, How to Avoid Death by PowerPoint, curated by David J.P. Phillips. He elaborated to the extent of the number of words, the number of points, and the type of picture we should use. Follow that, and I'm sure you will become an even more amazing evaluator and presenter. So I will also encourage you to broaden the application to deepen the relatability. Draw out some learning lessons which we can apply out of the Toastmasters context itself. Perhaps have a systematic planning, perhaps have a floor plan, calculation of the budget. All of these things can be extended out of Toastmasters. You want to draw that out so you can enhance the relatability. So in summary, congratulations, Buckley. Great ability to trigger audience visualization with a really systematic elaboration as well as confidence and clarity. Consider to streamline your presentations in terms of the visual aid as well as broaden the applications. I'm sure you will certainly be a spectacular Toastmasters and presenter. Back to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Thomas Chen, for sharing us his evaluation once again. Now let us have our timer Toastmaster Abdul Karimi to share with us the timings, updated timings of all the evaluators. Toastmaster Abdul, please.
Yes. Okay, which one do you need exactly?
Everyone's.
Sure.
You just let us know the updated timing.
You want it from the beginning?
No, the evaluators.
Okay, evaluator, sure.
Thank you.
No problem. I got Shen Shen, 3 minutes and 29 seconds. I got Sim Sim, 3 minutes and 7 seconds. And Mr. Thomas, I got 3 minutes and 22 seconds. Got that?
All right, thank you. So now let us all, sorry?
No, go ahead.
Have you got Jennifer's and CJ's timing?
Come back.
Have you got Jennifer and CJ's timing?
Let me message you. Hold on.
Okay, never mind. Let's go ahead and do the voting for the evaluators. So far, only 15% voted. Can you please put in your votes for the best evaluator? It's a very tight race. We only have 61% voted. The rest of you who have not voted, please put in the vote so that we can break the tiebreaker. All right, we have ended the vote polling, and we have now come to the exciting segment where we announce the winners. Shall we have the drum roll, please? Drum roll, please. For the best table topic speaker, we have our so-called PR DTM Un Sin Sin. And for best prepared speaker, we have our DTM Lee Buckley. And finally, for the best evaluator, we managed to break the tie, and it's none other than a double winner here, DTM Un Sin Sin. Congratulations to all our winners. And let me hand over to our president for his closing speech. President Willie, please.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, Alicia Cha. You cannot lead others live, you cannot lead your family. Leading your children changes the future. Your children are watching you. Integrity and characters are tested at home. Your children become the kind of leader they see in you. Who? Thomas. The future depends on you. Those who you lead day in, day out also depend on this. Leadership begins at home. Your leadership outside the home will blossom. So, what is leadership outside your home? At a Toastmaster meeting, Lee Bartley.
Sorry, what was that, Mr. Club President?
What is the leadership outside at Toastmaster that will blossom?
That will blossom. It's the key thing is to develop yourself, because when you develop, you bring others with you and you will blossom. So leadership begins at home. Look around your home, look around at your support network, and you will see some gold nuggets there.
Okay, let me grab some. Thomas, you are single. So what is the leadership that will what is the leadership at home that will blossom in you? Yes, since you are single. Yes, I'm muted already.
By the way, I'm not single. I'm still attached.
No. You attach. What is the leadership that will blossom where you are attached?
Leadership when I'm attached. I would say, I guess it is truly to understand your partner and help each other to chart the direction in life. Together, we become better leader.
Okay. Abdul, what about you?
What is your question?
What is the leadership that is blossom since you are newly married?
You had to give me that one, didn't you?
Okay.
Okay, no, it's okay. I answer.
As your role as a timer.
Okay. As a timer, right?
Yes.
As a timer, I have to admit it. This is my third time doing it, and last 2 times I think I did very well. But today, for some reason, as a leader, I didn't do it very well. But the way I look at it, I will learn as my mistake, and I appreciate every single one of you, Willie, Alicia, Lee, Thomas, everyone, for supporting me and not judging me because of my mistake. So as a leader, I will learn from you guys, follow your footsteps, and just keep learning, because today you guys made me happy even though I don't really do well. Thank you so much, guys. Appreciate
It's the internet connection. It's nothing to do.
Oh. Abdul, you did a
good
job.
It's just there's lag in the internet connection, that's why.
Actually, it was me who made you confused, because we had a very, how should I say, a dynamic meeting today. So it was not your side, it was me, because leadership starts from home. And sometimes the leader will have a bit of lag, just like me today. But that's all right.
Thank you.
Because
it's okay.
everyone is human.
Yeah,
and,
you see, this is what I mean.
And as I'm a single as well, it's interesting that leadership can start from home. The reason being that we singles out there can also play a leadership role. When you are getting older, your parents will get even older. And that's when their mental faculties get lowered, and they need the leadership from you singles to support them as they get weaker. That is where our role is. And does not mean only married people get to lead from home. Singles also get to lead because they have brothers, sisters, mother, fathers, even dogs, cats. Back to you, President.
Thank you. That's my closing message tonight. Leadership comes for you. So It doesn't mean that you can learn leadership for Toastmasters alone. You learn leadership for the day you are born, not the day you come to Toastmasters. It's only certain aspect of those leadership you learn in Toastmasters. You do not learn leadership at home in Toastmasters. You learn leadership right for the day you start your first cry. Correct?
Yes.
So I declare the meeting adjourned.